So the new V4 MMORPG just rolled out a brand new update that included with it the new Archer class. Now, MRSSSTIX and I have been very hard at work on accomplishing our goal of getting through the entirety of Chapter 7, making our way to almost level 70 right now, and over 230,000 combat power, when we were actually reached out to once again to take a sponsor look at the brand new Archer class and the update that came with it. Obviously, I was going to jump at that opportunity. I mean, I am literally being paid to try out the brand new class in a game that I am already dedicating a large amount of time to, actively recording footage, actively playing through both off stream and off cam. I mean, like, be honest here, would you guys turn that down? Yeah, I didn't think so. Now, if you are interested in trying out the new Archer class, or you want to try the game out in general, you can go ahead and click that link in the description and the pinned comment below to be taken directly to the game. Now, as you guys should already be aware, there are currently, or there were at the time, 6 classes in the game. The Enchantress, the Warlord, the Slayer, the Knight, the Gunslinger, and the Boomblade. Now, as of recording this, there is also the addition of the Archer. Now, my main, typically up until this point, had been the Gunslinger, while MRSSSTIX's had been the Boomblade. So when I had to go ahead and swap from the Gunslinger, temporarily mind you, to the new Archer class, it really didn't take much for me to acclimate to the difference in playstyle, because realistically both are long-ranged, kind of melee DPS. And I say melee DPS because they both use, like, one uses a bow and arrow and the other uses a gun with bullets, as opposed to something like a ranged DPS that uses magic. Now, first things first, when jumping into the Archer, you have to create your character. Now, as I noted the very first time I ever looked at V4, the character creator provides a lot of creative freedom for players. You can edit, to quite a degree I might add, your character's face, every single facet of their face, and also the important aspects of your character's body. I went ahead and decided that I wanted to create something very distinctly unique, much different to the character that I had created the very first time with my Gunslinger. My Gunslinger, I don't know, I feel like she looked more mature, kind of, I don't know, angrier with the world. And now, while my personal opinion here might be up for debate, I am definitely of the opinion that my Archer turned out looking quite a bit cuter. Not prettier, but cuter, right? I guess you guys are gonna have to let me know down in the comment section below, because my opinion is kind of subjective, I think. But like, at the end of the day, I think she turned out great. Then back into the game I went, starting all the way from level 1 again. Now, I decided that I wanted to go ahead here and disregard the level 1 through 40 experience, because I'd already covered that in the very first video I did. And let's be real here, if you guys are watching this to take a look at the Archer class, I am sure you guys want a closer look at how she plays more towards the later game side of things, right? Because early level grinding and the early level class is very different to later game grinding and how your character, how your class functions at late game. Your abilities are significantly different, and heck, your character overall is going to be substantially different. Like, I have never played an MMO where your character at level 10 is the same as your character is at level 50. Thankfully, the Archer plays very fast. Her attacks are really rapid, and at least for the first 50 or so levels of the game, she was this agile, destructive single target DPS. Now, after hitting level 50 and gaining access to new skills and skill effects, I opted to go ahead here and change my playstyle, as I have always been a fan of AoE characters or classes that have the ability to mow down 10, 20, 30 enemies all at the same time. That is how I prefer to play my games. That's typically why I tend to go mage. Mages have large scale AoEs that can literally just incinerate everything simultaneously. It's just faster, and I think, in my opinion at least, much more efficient. So at that point, I went ahead and kind of turned myself into an AoE killing machine, boosting my damage and going a ways to alter as many of my single target abilities into AoE abilities as I possibly could. And in doing so, things got substantially easier. Not because I did more damage, but because I dealt roughly equivalent damage, but to more monsters. I could go, as an example here, into the Abyss and grind down enemies faster than I had ever been able to before, which allowed me to go ahead and grind more soul shards, which provided me the opportunity to continue upgrading my soul stones in my gear, which went a ways to increase my combat power further. I actually made it to, I think it was almost 80,000 by the time I was done recording, which was ridiculous. That is all thanks to the new event that's going on, which I'm actually going to touch on in just a minute. But the very first time that MRSSSTIX Stix and I went and created our characters in V4, it took us forever to make it to almost 100,000 combat power. Now, honestly, guys, if you are looking to try out V4, if you've been putting it off for whatever reason, then right now I feel is the perfect opportunity to go ahead and jump into the game. This is because as of right now, there is a 14-day login event going on that provides a lot of goodies for players that make sure to log in daily. Pets, mounts, companions, soul stones, demon stones. If I couple that with one of the other events that are going on, the Rookie Captain's intensive training event, not only can I go ahead and power myself up to a degree that I wish I could have the very first time I played the game, but well, I mean, like, let's be real here. In the grand scheme of things, that is pretty much what is most important anyway, right? Like, legit, I felt like a god the entire time I played as this archer, partly because the event provided some ridiculously good gear and items, and partly because the archer itself is a very powerful new class. Now, I was not aware that V4 was going to introduce new classes into the game this frequently, or not necessarily this frequently, but pretty much at all, especially considering the PC version of V4 actually just went live a few months ago. But I am nevertheless pleasantly surprised. I hope in the future they continue pushing out regular updates like this and continuing to provide new and exciting reasons for people to continue to log in and keep playing. And new classes are definitely one thing that will do that for you. Now, I would have liked to have continued playing the Archer all the way until level 70, but MRSSTIX and I are playing our Gunslinger and our Boomblade up until level 70 first, and those are much more important as we have invested a lot more time into them. But we will hopefully have a final V4 video where we reach level 70, where we have over 250, over 300,000 combat power, and we have our endgame impressions, probably, I don't know, in the next week or two. Until then, if you guys are interested in trying out the brand new Archer class or V4 in general, I urge you to go right ahead and download the game using that link in the description in the pinned comment below. But that's just my opinion, my impressions of the brand new class. What do you guys think? Does it look exciting? Does it look like something you'd like to try out? Let me know down in the comments below and let's talk about it. Anyway, guys, that is it from me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it.